cemetery of dreams where nothing is left than sand and wounds and widows.
And then you see all these images of like turtles and like dying, or like whales stranding, and the whole belly, everything is full of plastic. And then you feel like that's wrong.
It was amazing. It was just like a dream come true. I was going through a very deep, dark valley. I was in a minor depression, I would say.
Hi, it's Cyril and Nick from Tiger Cave, and we're happy to see you here at the Million Handshakes video blog.
With the tagline, Music Against Hostility, Violence and Intolerance.
Our friends, musicians, artists, poets will be joining us every week.
In order to support our action and to share their music, their stories, and to share their handshake with us.
Today our guest is a great actor, producer and director.
Wольfgang Черни. Great to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
So, what do you think is the most pressing problem of our society today?
I would actually, that's a quite easy question to answer. I think it's climate change, to be honest, or global warming, or the climate crisis, as some might even refer to it. Of course, the pollution, all the plastic everywhere,
Yes, of course.
the carbon dioxide, the burns everywhere, all these like catastrophes get more and more and more, and it's just, I think it's something which will unite all of us, because in the end, it affects everyone. I mean, there might be the top 1% that might escape it for some time, but even the rich oligarchs or like millionaires, when they will not be able to go to the Maldives anymore because there is no Maldives anymore,
Yes.
then they will have to do something. So it's something we're all facing, and I think that's a very pressing matter. And that affects everything. That affects like our environment, that affects animals, that affects the way we treat animals, the way we eat animals, we hunt them, the way we treat the animals that are still alive in the wild. And of course, the way we, recycle or not recycle. So,
For you personally, the biggest issue?
it's basically, I'm very much in love with the island of Bali.
Okay.
And
He also.
I love surfing. I learned surfing there. My first time there was like 12 or 13 years ago, and it was like, for me, it was a big adventure. I was very young. I started surfing, and everything was very still clean there. That's my memory. And I've been there half a year ago, the last time, fifth time already.
What you're talking about?
It was crazy. It was
When
like
you surf and you take your hand off the water and it's plastic around your hand.
and then you see all these images of like turtles and like dying, or like whales stranding, and the whole belly, everything is full of plastic. And then you feel like that's wrong. And they found even a plastic bag on the deepest part of the Mariana Trench. The deepest part, a plastic bag. I mean, whatever. Well, it took weeks to get down there, but still, it's just like it's everywhere.
Are you vegetarian?
No, unfortunately not. But
Planning to be?
Yeah, it's like I'm playing with this idea. I mean, I stopped eating pork because I was shooting a movie last year where there was a small piglet in the movie which was supposed to get killed, but then we ended up not killing it because it was too sweet. A year later, the small piglet was like this.
You have
Big
very much
mama.
in common. No pork, surfing,
Yeah.
Bali.
So that's a big issue for me,
Okay.
especially how animals are affected by that.
What do you think, what human quality, in your opinion, is lacking for a modern man, woman nowadays?
I would see a certain amount of groundedness and interconnectedness between the people, and an awareness that everything they do has an effect in both ways, the good and the bad, basically.
Okay, so awareness. like-
Yeah, it's and groundedness.
Okay.
It's self-awareness, basically.
Do you consider yourself be heard? Like if you have some message, maybe you want that message to go through, maybe with your acting or with your director's works.
I mean, I don't consider myself like the big speaker of the world yet, but I do have a slowly growing audience of people who know me and whatever, and I use this to spread the messages that I find important for people to know. And usually it's about environment, usually it's about animals. I care very much about their well-being, against prejudices, basically. I travel myself very, very much, and in my opinion, that's the best way to overcome prejudices and all the stuff media tells us. I'm not against media. I mean, basically, media is giving me my job. But I think the best way to really know what's happening in the world is to see it with your own eyes. To just go there, talk to the people, get your own opinion.
Do you feel as a free person?
Yes, I do. Actually, I travel very much. My wife is Russian. I still work in America, so I'm like, yes, I feel free.
Okay, what do you think of love?
How much time do you have?
Well, I mean, basically, just in general. Do you think it's appropriate word right now, or people just use it for something else?
I think people have always used it for something else. It's like love is as unique as every person. So I mean, love is just a word in the end. It's a sound we make, but when it comes down to is what we project on it. If we feel like it's something that's important to us. In my opinion, love in the end is kind of a promise.
Okay.
You give yourself and you give the people or the places or the animals or the principles you care about.
Are you in love?
Of course I am.
It was a tricky question. He's married.
Could you tell us about the happiest day of your life?
It was like a couple of months ago when I got married.
Oh, great.
That was just
Couple months ago.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was amazing. It was just like a dream come true. All the friends.
Here in Russia?
No, in Austria, on a lake. We had all the friends from all over the world coming, and it was raining for 4 weeks non-stop there, and we wanted to do it outside. And then suddenly, really like 2 hours before our guests arrived, suddenly it cleared. And that was just simply amazing, really. We had this like half moon carved out of woods with like some weeds everywhere, and we had like a special band singing our songs. It was really beautiful.
Very nice.
If you met yourself at age of 10, what would you tell him?
That's a really good question. I would tell him, just do you. Just do, everything is all right. Do what you like and keep doing it. It doesn't matter if people like it or not, just it's gonna be okay.
What would you personally could do to change people's lives?
Well, you pretty much answered it before, but if something were depend on you, let's say, what would you do?
I think what I would, if there would be one ability which I could grant to people, me being the big superhero, I would tell them I would give the people the opportunity to, while being in an argument with someone else, to for just a couple of seconds fully see the other person's perspective. Listen to their thoughts, see what they see, not even walk in their shoes, that's already too much, but see what they've been going through to arrive where they are now, and that, I think in my opinion, would eliminate 99% of all conflicts.
Sounds good to me.
Let's play some music.
That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
if you don't mind.
I don't
Okay,
mind.
let's do that.
So, hero of war, yeah, that's what I'll be. And when I come home, they'll be so damn proud of me. I will carry this flag to the grave if I must, because it's a flag that I love and it's a flag that I trust. I kicked in the door, I yelled my command. The children, they cried, but I got my man. We beat him with guns, and not just once, but again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Yes, a
hero of war, that's what I'll be. And when I come home, they'll be so damn proud of me. I will carry this flag to the grave if I must, because it's a flag that I love, it's a flag that I trust. A hero of war. Yes, they'll be proud of me.
Here for a while now, the crowds keep on growing. You've seen the sign, but you don't know what it means. It's a cemetery of dreams.
Cemetery of dreams.
It's a cemetery of dreams.
Cemetery of dreams where all the heroes are buried in this world. All the blood is spilled.
It's a cemetery of dreams.
And then she walked through bullets and haze. I asked her, stop, I begged her, please stay where you are. But she pressed on, so I lifted my gun and I fired away. And the shells, they jumped through the smoke and into the sand that the blood now had soaked. And she collapsed with a flag in her hand, a flag white as snow, a flag white as fucking snow. A hero of war, yeah, is that what they see? I mean, just medals and fucking scars. So damn proud of me.
Here for a while now, the crowds keep on growing. You've seen the sign, but you don't know what it means. It's a cemetery of dreams. That you fake healers don't make you feel any better. Tell me you're not the part of it. It's a cemetery of dreams. That you fake healers don't make you
Cemetery of nightmares.
you're not the part of it. It's a cemetery of dreams.
There are no dreams in war, just nightmares. And I brought home that flag,
It's a cemetery of dreams.
and now it gathers dust. It's a flag that I love. It's the only fucking flag that I trust. He said, son, have you seen the world? Well, what would you say if I said that you could? Just take this gun. You'll even get paid. I said, that sounds pretty good.
Here for a while now, the crowds keep on growing. You've seen the sign, but you don't know what it means. It's a cemetery of dreams.
It's a cemetery of dreams, where all the heroes are buried in the dust of the world.
It's a cemetery
It's a cemetery of dreams, where nothing is left than sand and wounds and widows.
It's a cemetery of dreams.
On the cemetery of dreams. Come on, take a stroll on the cemetery of dreams.
It's a cemetery of dreams.
It's a free entry for everyone.
So I would like to tell you a short story that happened to me a couple of years ago. I was going through a very deep, dark valley. I was in a minor depression, I would say. And it was after the breakup of my long-term ex-girlfriend. I was really down, and I was living in Munich, and I didn't know where to go next. Everything seemed like a dead end. And then through some friends and family members, I got the recommendation of visiting a shaman. And I had no ideas, no preconceptions whatsoever, so I just made an appointment. I went there. He was in the southern part of Germany, and somewhere in the mountain ranges. And he met me. He was a very nice guy. He was very unconventional, everything. I left all the electronics I had at home, and we basically went to a sweat lodge. First of all, so for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a small building, looks like a turtle shell made out of wooden sticks, and with raw hides on top, and you go inside and there's a small fireplace with hot stones that were heated in the fire. So basically the whole thing really heats up when you're inside, and it's supposed to sweat out all the negative energies and all the stuff that was burning you from the inside out. And so we did that. He was chanting some stuff in a language I don't know, I didn't understand, but it wasn't that important. And then I wasn't clear where to go next. I felt stranded, and coming from Austria, living in Germany, it was like kind of a big step. And I didn't even know what to ask, but I just felt like there was a big piece of myself missing. And then I had some insights during the time in the sweat lodge, and then he just didn't say any word. He didn't judge for whatever happened there, whatever I said, whatever I did. So then we walked outside, and there was this meadow, and he told me to go to the meadow. There was a stone circle in the meadow, a couple of different boulders, different sizes, but it's like more or less a perfect circle. And he told me that each stone has a different meaning, but he won't tell me the meaning. So what I needed to do, I needed to close my eyes, walk to the stones, and walk to the specific stone that I felt most attracted to. So, and I was walking and some stones, I touched them actually, and some of them were like ice cold, even though it was like July, and others were really warm and hot. So I found one that was the hottest for me, and when I opened my eyes, I just looked at the shaman who was standing right in front of me, and he smiled at me, and he said, there you have your answer. And I said, what's the question? And he said, well, you wanted to know where to go next. And then I looked up, and he told me, you're in the east of the circle. And if you look at Munich on a map, east of Munich is Vienna, where I come from. So basically, I moved back to Vienna afterwards. But the fun part starts only there, because Vienna is east of Munich, but east of Vienna is Russia. So that's where I am right now. So I went even further east, and I'm very grateful for this experience. And the only thing I can tell you right now is that no matter how dark it might seem, no matter how desperate and how hopeless your situation might be, it will get better. And there's no shame in asking for help. And it's always easier to heal when you have someone to talk to do it together. And sometimes all it takes to heal is a single handshake to bring people together. So that's my 50 cents. Have a nice day.
It's a cemetery of dreams that perfect healers don't make you feel any better. You're not the part. It's a cemetery of dreams that perfect healers don't make.
Where all the heroes are buried in the dust of the world.
It's a cemetery of
dreams.
1 million
Nothing
Handshakes.
is left.